Hey guys, James Wachob with Foundation Property Management, bringing you another great property today. In this time of COVID and coronavirus, people are uncertain about what's going on, and I'm here to tell you that Memphis is still at work, whether that's good or bad. Memphis, a lot of the employees, a lot of my renters are considered essential. All of FedEx considered essential. That's one of our largest public employers here in town. FedEx St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, of course, it's essential. A lot of my renters are the maintenance crew, the janitorial crew at St. Jude and other hospitals around town, truck drivers, forklift drivers, warehouse workers, still working. So we collected all of our rent in single-family homes last month, or this month in April. May looks as extremely encouraging as well. We haven't had any of our renters say they couldn't pay because they were laid off or furloughed. We've been very proactive about getting the message out. Your rent is due, and here's easy ways to pay. So we've had 74 showings on our properties that are available for rent this month, and 20 plus move-ins. So the rental market, housing in general, so even the houses we build for new homeowners, this is essential. People need a place to live. If someone's living in an apartment or their lease is coming up and they're not happy with the condition of their current property, it's essential that they're able to move into a nicer property. So I'm so glad that our government left that wide open. We haven't slowed down a bit. We're buying houses, renovating houses daily, putting roofs on, cutting down trees, putting floors in, countertops, paint, you name it. We are as busy as ever. So I know a lot of people that invest with me have said, well, James, what if people stop paying rent? Well, Memphis has continued to work. So what do I do for a living? I provide safe and clean housing for the American workforce. I just happen to live in Memphis, Tennessee. So we buy the house, we renovate it, we manage it in-house with our in-house property management company, foundationpropertymanagement.com, and we'll get to that in a second. So from the website today, we're going to be talking about this house at 4306 Briarberry Lane in the 38109 zip code. But before we do, let me talk about the October event. Now, most of you know that we have an event every May. We've always done that and brought our best investors into town to, number one, meet the team, get acquainted with, each person that works with me that makes this possible. So from acquisitions, renovations, property management, our lenders, our attorney, our tax guy come out, and you get to meet the team that I've assembled that makes this possible for my investors, makes it possible to make this a replicatable and duplicatable process at will. Meaning when you're ready to add that fourth, fifth, sixth property to your portfolio, you just pick up the phone and call James and his team, and they take care of you. Well, because of the COVID-19, we've moved this event to October. And hey, I couldn't be more pleased because October is the most beautiful month in Memphis, Tennessee that there is. The weather's beautiful. It doesn't rain in October hardly. Watch, it'll rain this event. But October 2nd and 3rd, and let me tell you what this event does. You come to town, short day of education, and I stress that short day of education because I'm not one to want to sit in a classroom all day, and you probably aren't either. But you'll learn our processes, our systems, how we've been working with investors for years to make this possible. And then after the point of sale, how we take care of you with our operations team through property management. We are your boots on the ground here in Memphis, Tennessee. So you leave here with an in-depth knowledge of how our process works. We also take you out and we see the different areas of town, the areas we invest in, the areas we stay away from, and why. So you leave here with the geographical knowledge. It's hard to obtain over the internet and Google Street View. You'll get to see firsthand. You'll see houses under renovation. You'll see brand new houses built as rentals. You'll see houses that have been completely renovated with a tenant ready to move in. So you'll see each stage of construction. You'll see multifamily. I've got several duplexes that'll be coming on the site soon that I've purchased. I've waited for the tenants to move out so I can get in and do a full renovation. Duplexes are a hot commodity on my website all the time. I've got one available on there right now. So if you have questions about single family homes, duplexes, reach out to me and my team. We'd love to talk to you. So go to the Facebook page, just search TurnkeyInvest.com on Facebook, like the page. You can learn more about the event here. Reach out to my team if you need more information. So back to Briarberry. Where is this house located? All right, see if I can get my tool here where I can show you. So from downtown Memphis, if you were to go due south, you'd be in an area called Whitehaven. And most people know Whitehaven because that's where Graceland is. That's where Elvis lived back in the 70s. So this property is just due west of Graceland, 4306 Briarberry Lane. And one of our hottest areas. Whitehaven as a whole is becoming harder to invest in because there's so many people becoming homeowners here. Great for Memphis, tough as an investor to compete against that. But we love seeing that values have risen. The demand for quality rental properties here holds strong. It's right next, it's just west of the Memphis International Airport, which is home to FedEx largest cargo hub, and just south of downtown. So it's a great little area. We've done well here for years, and it continues to get better and better and higher demand from our renters that we want to rent to. All righty, so we'll get rid of that. And we'll go to the next screen, which will show us the diligence vault. So the diligence vault is all the information an informed investor would want to know to whether consider this property as a part of their portfolio or to eliminate it. And that's okay, because we all shop through the process of elimination, meaning you go to my website, you find houses in your price range, whether you're in the $75,000 to $80,000 price range or above. And then you're probably going to look at ones that have the largest amount of cash flow. A lot of people do that. A lot of people will go to the scope of work, which we'll get to in a minute, and see how old is the roof, how old is the AC, what type of flooring am I going to get in this property if I were to purchase it. But starting with the pro forma is a financial indication of how this property should perform for you, and it's based on a purchase price of $78,500, a rent of $795. I'm extremely confident in that rental amount, and that surpasses that 1% rule you hear so much about. So, if you're newer to real estate, an $80,000 property renting for $800 a month is the 1% rule. So this is beats it a little bit, minus your expenses located in the bottom right-hand corner. The expenses account for vacancy and repair, which a lot of people take that out of the pro forma, saying it's not a true expense. You don't know what the vacancy is going to be or what the repairs are going to be. Let me tell you, those are expenses. You better be accounting for vacancy and repairs. We use a 4% of the total rent amount as vacancy. And in this property, at 8% of collected rent for future repairs, even though it's being fully renovated. And we'll look at the scope of work in just a moment. You will have repairs one day. That brand new roof will have to be replaced one day. So monthly, you're socking away a little bit of money for those future repairs that you will face. Vacancy at 4%, let me explain that real quick. So our average tenant stays right at 3 years in the property. So every 3 years, take 60 days out of a vacancy to get the house ready, marketed, tenanted, which is a generous amount of time. We've been filling vacancies in less than 30 days recently. And, that's not because our property management is doing anything special. And although I think we're really amazing with the property management, we have good properties in good areas with great renovations. So of course the vacancies are filling quickly. So when you have good stock, good inventory, it's easy to fill those vacancies. You can imagine. If you have poor stock, like most of Memphis, most of rental houses, the owner should be ashamed of what they're renting to a single mom raising 3 kids in that house. They smell, the roof is leaking, the AC is on its last breath. Our houses, new roof, new HVAC, they smell nice. It's a safe place to raise a little family. They rent quickly. So you take your monthly income, subtract these expenses in the bottom right-hand corner. That gives you a net operating income when multiplied by 12 of right at $6,700. Now, the total cash needed to purchase a house like this is $20,000. That's 20% down payment plus closing costs. So the cash on cash return is defined as this. How much cash do I have to pull out of my pocket, put into this investment? What is my return net on that total cash investment? So net operating income divided by cash out of hand gives us almost a 15% cash on cash return. Now that's doable with a used property that hasn't been really renovated well, but this one is getting a full renovation and still cash flows 14.81% per month. The next thing I put in the diligence vault is a crime map. So this crime map, it goes from light blue to dark blue, depending on how much crime is in the area. You see we're in the lighter blue area. So a good indication that it's going to be able to attract that quality tenant, which is what we all want. Then the scope of work. So the scope of work is intense on this house. So we're going to list everything that has is going to be repaired. The bottom right-hand corner is going to give you a really good indication of some of the most important items. So of course, we're going to put bedroom, bathroom square footage in here. The age of air conditioning system, 4 years old. Age of water heater, brand new. Furnace is 4 years old, and the roof is 5 years old. So those are estimates, but that'll be confirmed by your third-party home inspector. So this house was renovated just 5 years ago. That's how we have the newer HVAC, the newer roof. No reason to go put a brand new roof on a house if it was only 5 years old. Okay, so the YouTube channel. So if you haven't already gone to TurnkeyInvest YouTube channel, please find it. And if you are a YouTuber, then subscribe. Click on that button that says subscribe. Click on the little bell right there. Click, say all or personalize, and it'll give you a little alert every time we upload a new video. This is important because it can give you first look at some of the properties that are about to hit the website and give you a walkthrough of a lot of our properties. So it's like bringing you to Memphis virtually. All right, so back to this property. In the diligence vault, I always put in comparable sales. So this is a little bit unique. You don't see everybody doing this, but this is the way I would analyze a property if I were in your shoes. If I were 2,000 miles away from a property I was buying, this is everything I'd want to see broken down for you to look at it at your own time, or give us a call. We'll walk you through the diligence vault if you're newer to investing. So you're going to have your subject property. So that's your house right there on Briarberry. And then you're going to have 3 houses that are most comparable. Now, how are they most comparable? Number one, you want to know that they're in the same vicinity. So these houses are very close to our subject property, which is always in a black circle with an S. If they're way across town, the appraiser won't use them. So then you're going to want to know that they're in the same square footage range, same age range, and same bedroom and bathroom count range. Then you're going to look at the average price per square foot on each property. Let me get my little arrow here. So we have $72, $75, and $70 a square foot. If we were to get an average there, it'd be $72 per square foot right there. So 72 times the square footage gives us our sales price. If these things aren't lining up, then maybe you should have some concerns. Will this house appraise if I'm buying it? So we've done all this homework for you. We're not going to get involved in a project where we don't feel like the house is going to appraise from the get-go. All righty. So then tons of pictures. So these pictures are all before renovation, of course, and you're going to receive photo updates of any house that you do with us throughout the renovation. So before, during, and after photos of all of our houses makes it really easy to see the whole progression of the project. So here's, when these guys bought it, you'll see the next one will be through the demo stage. Right now, there was someone living there in these photos. You'll see the sheetrock repair, the painted cabinets, the new countertops, new roof, whatever we're doing to the house. You'll get to see the whole thing. Then we're going to pull, just like we did for rental or selling comps, we're going to pull rental comps. So we use a service called Rentometer. Anyone can subscribe. So if you really, wanted to dig into some of your properties, you could. We've already subscribed, so we'll share the information with you. And it's going to give you another map, and it's going to show other houses that have rented in the area. So here you have from, first 12 or 15 properties are great comparable rentals. As high as $895 a month, $865, $825. Those might be a little bit bigger houses maybe, because we're only asking $800 a month in rent. At the very top, you're going to see a gauge, and you're going to see that we're in the 75th percentile, but our right under $800 a month, which is what we're asking, easily will be obtained with a renovation like this. You'll have a letter from me and my family in here about who we are, what we do. You'll have a step-by-step of our exact process from your very early beginning stages all the way through to your purchase and handover to our in-house property management team, Foundation Property Management, and then rinse and repeat. We've got it down to a 10-step process. More information about Foundation Property Management, information about our preferred lenders. If you haven't gotten hooked up with one of our preferred lenders, do yourself a favor. They make this process possible. Without having someone on your side for lending, unless you're paying cash, which 35% of my buyers do, then you're not set up for success. I've had people come to me, they want to use a big lender like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Quicken Loans, believe it or not. They just don't know the process of buying rental properties. They don't set you and me up for success. Information about our closing attorney, our hazard insurance provider. We have a group policy that gives you discounted rates and better coverage. And then, of course, an open invitation to visit us anytime. I want you to come to the campus, meet our team, get in the car with us, go out and see these properties. October 2nd and 3rd, like I shared with you earlier, would be a perfect time to do that. If you have interest in investing in Memphis, Tennessee, and you get on the phone with me, one of my first questions in the first 10 minutes at least is going to be, when are you going to come see me? Because when someone devotes the time and invests the time, energy, money to come out and visit the city they're investing in, whether it's Memphis or Kansas City or Indianapolis, that's when it becomes real. You're going to meet the team and say, okay, this is more of a personal business than I thought it was. I'm not just buying a commodity, which is a rental property or a turnkey rental property. I'm invested in TurnkeyInvest, James Wachob and his team as much as anything else. All right, back to share screen. So what makes all of this possible is your boots on the ground, your operations team after the point of purchase. Foundation Property Management, I couldn't be more proud of the percentage of rent we collect every month, the way we take care of our investors down to every last detail. I'll give you a quick example. So we had a service call on a house recently where the people said the toilet was not working properly. So most property management companies, most big property management companies, first thing they're going to do is dispatch a plumber. Pick up the phone, call ABC Plumbing, send them out to the house, fix the situation, bill the owner, right? Most of these repairs are a simple tweak. So the flapper for the toilet just needed to be connected to the chain. So a plumber is going to charge you $250 plus a big markup from another property management company. Now you're looking at $300 plus for a flapper not working. So it's my mindset that these tenants, we want to take good care of them, absolutely. But they're not living at the Ritz-Carlton where you call up to the front desk for every little minor detail. I can send somebody out, connect the chain back to the flapper. You'll never see a charge for something like that. And in 15 minutes, their situation's handled. We do educate them while we're there. Look, if this ever happens again, check the little flapper with the chain. Maybe they've never lived in a house. Maybe they've always lived in an apartment with a handyman on site. They're renting a home. They're not renting an apartment or staying at the Ritz-Carlton calling the front desk, right? Okay. So Foundation Property Management takes care of you moving forward all the way down. Here's our saying at Foundation Property Management. I manage your properties as if I owned them myself. If I owned that property myself, the first call would not be to an expensive licensed plumber in an $80,000 truck. All right, so if you haven't subscribed to the Foundation Property Management YouTube page, please do so. Click that little red button, set your notifications as you like to see them, and maybe you don't like to see the notifications. Watch our videos here if you're an owner, just to see what we're doing on the other side to get multiple applicants in your home. So a lot of property management companies stick a sign in the front yard, some mediocre photographs, and hope somebody calls. Maybe they put it on Zillow. We're making walkthrough videos of not only properties that you buy, but properties our tenants are going to potentially rent as well. This is good for future as well. If we have a tenant who says, well, that hole was in the wall before I moved in, we can go back to a video. It's all publicly right here on YouTube. So there's a lot of benefits to having a true marketing team behind you when it comes to investing in real estate. If you have a property for rent, we want multiple applicants. We don't want the first warm body that runs through there. So I'd encourage you, go to my website, foundationpm.com. Look at all the properties we have for rent. Check out the marketing that we're putting out there compared to some of the other companies you might see across the country. Not saying other people aren't great at what they do. I just take a lot of pride in getting these properties out to the public so we have the best choices for the tenant that we choose for your home. The longer that tenant stays in the property, the better for me. I want people staying 3+ years in a property because that makes you a repeat buyer when you are ready to invest again. Where people get frustrated with real estate is every year they have somebody moving out of that property. Guess what? You have repairs, you have a vacancy for a small amount of time, And my job is easier when you're happy because you come back and invest again and again. Over 40% of my houses right now are being sold to repeat buyers. So we don't market for new investors. We take care of our investors, and therefore we don't have to worry about selling houses. This month with COVID-19 and coronavirus, we've still had a great month with 11 sales already this month and predict more. In May, we'll sell double that. So if you're looking to get into real estate, there couldn't be a better time. Interest rates are low. The stock market, we all know what's going on there. Real estate's tangible. You can put your hands on it. It's liquid if you ever wanted to sell it, and it appreciates over time. So it's a true investment. Thanks for your time today. Reach out to us if we can help you in any way at all. Thanks.